Enchanted Tiki Talk is brought to you by Kingdom Strollers. Our premium stroller and crib rentals are delivered straight to your Disney or Orlando area resort. It couldn't be easier. Book yours at kingdomstrollers.com. And Mouse Pros. Let our travel specialist plan your next vacation. Our concierge level service gives you the perfect hassle-free vacation. Get your free quote from Sean or any of our magical agents at mousepros.com. And Mickey Monthly, the Disney fans' monthly subscription box that brings the magic right to your door. Visit them at mickeymonthly.com. And now, it's show time!
Vahidi me kyoni mana, ladies and gentlemen, no flashbulbs, please. Our performers are temperamental and easily upset. Thank you for your cooperation.
Oh, look at all the people.
My goodness, you're all staring at us. We better start the show rolling.
Wait, we forgot to wake up the Glee Club.
Tahua'ila, e-wa'ila, pili-ko-luala, u-tu-tu.
Hello and welcome to the return of Enchanted Tiki Talk. We hope that you enjoyed last week's show with us drafting our favorite resorts in Walt Disney World. We hope to do more of that series in the future just to see how well everybody does. But before we get on with this week's show, I have a couple jokes for you guys.
Yuck. This is going to be good.
Okay, here we go. Why are there no planes where Peter Pan lives?
Because they never land.
Waka Waka.
What did Snow White say when her photos weren't ready yet?
Someday my prince will come.
Very good.
2 for 2.
I was going to go
I had to think about that one.
Hi ho. Where's my prince at?
Why was Tigger in the bathroom for so long?
He was searching for poo.
He had poo stuck inside him.
Wow.
Why did Mickey Mouse get hit with a snowball?
I got nothing on that.
Because Donald ducked. Oh, get it? Donald
Where's the rim shot?
Why did Snow White get kicked out of Disneyland? Because she sat on Pinocchio's face and said, "Lie to me, lie to me."
Oh, wow. God. This went like left turn out of nowhere.
How did Minnie save Mickey from drowning?
After that last one, I have no idea.
Hard to guess on this one now.
Nobody?
No.
Bueller. Mouse to mouse resuscitation.
Wow, this is like a Carrot Top show. It's just bad.
It gets better. Which Disney character can
It
count
gets
the
better?
highest?
Great.
In what way?
Which Disney character can count the highest?
Tinkerbell.
No.
I
Buzz
figured since he
Lightyear.
could fly.
He can count to infinity and
Beyond.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why would Snow White make a good judge?
No idea.
I don't want to know where this one's going to go either.
Because she's the fairest one of all. Get it?
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah. We're laughing on the inside of that one.
Alright, here's a real good one. Why does Ariel wear seashells?
Sean Stoller bikini top.
Because D shells are too big and B shells are too small.
Okay, that one was funny.
Told you it gets better.
Oh.
Okay.
So how many of these have you submitted at the Monsters Laugh Floor?
None. So, next one. Why did the 7 dwarfs go to jail? They sold all their gems for high hos. Why can't Miss Piggy count to 100? This one's not appropriate.
One of her toes go to the market?
I'm not going to tell you this one. You'll have to Google that one if you want to know.
You gotta say.
Like those other ones weren't like.
Yeah. You're just making the editing job harder for yourself, bud.
Why was Cinderella bad at baseball?
She couldn't go to the ball.
Because she had a pumpkin for a coach.
These are bad. This is our last show, isn't it? Right?
Yes.
Like this is it.
Okay.
It doesn't go anywhere but here.
Last question. What does Mickey use to browse the web?
His mouse.
An iPad Mini.
See, I keep waiting for Larry the Cable Guy. I don't care who you are, just put it right there.
Oh, hell no. That Miss Piggy joke, Sean.
Okay, with that, we're taking a break.
When the Disney characters you love come together, it's magic. But when they come together with classic music and movie moments you adore, it's PhilharMagic. And the best part? You'll be swept up in the middle of it all. It's a 3D symphony of fun for everyone. Mickey's PhilharMagic, new in the Magic Kingdom Park.
We are back from break. So this week we are ending our trip down the top 5 attractions in the parks with our final stop at the Magic Kingdom. With
After all that, it's just he's like, we're back.
Before the break, guys, see for that.
We're just rolling right along like nothing ever happened.
I'm a professional. What can I say?
Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So with Magic Kingdom having the most attraction, it's going to be interesting to see where everyone places their favorites and how much or little is overlapping in our picks. So once again, top 5, we'll go from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we will let the fairest one of all go first, and that would be Keith. Keith, what's your number 5 choice here at the Magic Kingdom?
Well, it should be zero surprise that its attractions on my top 5 list, but my number 5 is the Country Bear Jamboree.
God, I thought you were going Stitch.
Yeah, that's wrong. Keith, let's do this again. What's your number 5?
Okay, so
talking
I'll
about
change
inappropriate jokes in that.
There's some blood on the saddle. It's okay. He's gonna get a whooping. That's fine. It's all in fun because it's bears that are singing it, so you can't get mad at that.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, it's just a fun show, and I love it. I know it's corny and it's not a thrill ride, blah, 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 but it's just a Disney staple that each and every trip I have to stop and watch the show. So
it brings out your inner bear, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I can barely sit through that.
Really?
Even since they shortened it, it's not any
Do
better.
you get it? Barely. There's bears in it? Barely?
Wow.
Jeez.
It's still going with it.
The joke's don't end.
I was about to say, we just had to sit through all those horrible jokes you told. At least you could do is sit through that.
No, my jokes were much better.
No.
Wait, send your hate mail to Keith at Enchanted Tiki Talk for those jokes. It was his idea, it was not mine.
Right.
Okay. Scott, you can go next.
All right, I'm hitting up one of the mountains, and I'm doing Space Mountain as my number 5.
Number 5 with Space Mountain. Okay, so why number 5? Why not higher?
Honestly, hasn't even put it on my list, but it's one of these lists that you ask me every day, and my top 5 would probably change. The reason it's not higher is it seems more so than not that it's breaking down more often, lights are on more often, so the reliability and the age of it is just it's kind of losing some of its fun part.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, that's a great selection. It easily could be in anybody's top 5.
Could be. It's not.
It's not. Okay, Matt.
It hurts too much to write that right. As much as I love it, man, it just hurts.
Let's see, Matt, where are you coming in at with number 5?
I'm going to start with one that is near and dear to my heart. When I was a kid, I rode this over and over and over and over again, and I still enjoy it. I wish they would bring the mermaids back. I'm going to go with Pirates.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, great selection, great attraction. It's on my list, so I won't say much more right now.
All right, what's number 5 for you then?
All right, so number 5 for me is easily one of my favorite attractions, and I'm going to go throw the TTA/People Mover onto that list. I just love that attraction, especially more so at night. It's just, as many of us out there know, there's a great appreciation for the TTA for so many reasons, because you get to sit there, relax, enjoy different views of the park that you can't see from the ground. You get to soak everything in it, and it's a great place for people watching. You get to see the inside of a couple of attractions, which is fun. You get to see the model of Epcot, which I do so enjoy seeing, even though nothing's moving on that anymore. So, it's just overall, it's just a great attraction. It's a great place for everybody to just relax, take some time out, and rest your legs after, doing 15, 20, 30,000 steps. So, easily top 5 for me. That might not make too many people's top 5 list, but it's a classic attraction in my eyes, and it has to be in there.
I enjoy it. It's a fun attraction. It's a solid 6 for me. I don't think it would make the top 5 though.
Fair enough.
I will talk about that one later because it's going to be somewhere on mine.
All right.
Thanks for the warning.
Yeah. So with that, Scott, why don't you go ahead and give us your number 4?
Number 4, I'm doing another mountain, and probably one that's going to be higher on all of yours is going to be Splash Mountain.
Wow.
Splash. Oh.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, that will be higher on my list as well. That great attraction.
Yes. What they said.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
original.
With my number 4, it's probably not on anybody's list.
Stitch.
Yeah. No, but it is the first attraction I ever did at a Disney park.
Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor.
It's the Speedway.
It is the one thing that actually got me hooked on Disney. I smiled the entire time, and that is Mickey's PhilharMagic. Something about it, the music, the 4D elements in it. It's just, I kind of have a personal connection with it because it was the first attraction I saw there. So that's easily my top 5 for me.
I actually had that as my number 3 and then took it off my list because I really enjoy that ride, but I feel it could be updated even with the same film and everything else. Just needs a little love in that attraction, but I completely understand it being on yours.
Yeah, I can agree with you, Scott. It can definitely be updated. I'm surprised it's not digital at this point. It's not cleaned up, but
Yep.
Good solid show there at Walt Disney World is a must-do on every single trip. Not in my top 5, but I will not give you a hard time about this one.
Whew. Finally. I found one. Good. Okay.
Moving over to my number 4. This is one that I guess you kind of have to be I don't know how to phrase it, a Disney fan. You never see lines for this attraction. You can pretty much get in at any point in time. It's Carousel of Progress. Just the ties it has to the past and everything. Yes, it's another one that could use some updating, but I still enjoy, seeing it once or twice every time we're down there.
I do enjoy that one too. It's just one of those classic attractions that Walt actually had a hand in making. To be truthful, I hope they don't update it. It's cool that, it still kind of has that old school kind of feel to it. So it's I hope that they don't update it.
I like to see them update it. It's a great attraction. It's, my kids won't enjoy that. Sharon doesn't really like it, but I enjoyed it when all of us got to do it together. I wish one thing that they would do would be, say after 10 o'clock at night, whatever it is, it becomes a sing-along where everybody in the audience just goes there. That's for like one ride per night, and it becomes a sing-along. How much fun that would be,
That would be cool.
It would be fun.
Yeah. So with my number 4, I had a hard time with my number 4 selection because there's so many attractions that I could easily put in number 4 in there, but because of wanting to get the TTA at number 5, and because I think it's fair that it should be a top 5 attraction. My next attraction is a dark ride in Fantasyland, and it's Peter Pan. And one of the reasons why I threw that in there, I love that attraction. It just brings me back to being a kid, and it's the simplicity of the attraction that I love so much. It's just flying above Neverland and things getting smaller as you go up, and seeing the little pirate ship start firing its cannon, and hearing what's his name? The captain, brain fart.
Captain Hook.
Captain Hook saying, "Fire, Mr. Smee!"
Mr. Smee!
Love that. And then you get to see the little Lost Boys. They're sitting around, and then you get to see the little mermaids around the corner. There's just something really charming about that attraction, and it's not worth the wait. I mean, it's not worth a 45-minute wait. It's not really worth any kind of long wait like that. But I have so much joy of experiencing that attraction. I've never had a real bad experience on it. I got evac'd off on it once, but it was still fun. It was an experience all to itself. But, it's fun. It's just a classic Disney attraction. That's why I love it.
I still have not seen the new interactive queue.
Me either.
Because I always fast pass it.
Right.
But one day, my dream is to stand by that ride and not have to wait like 4.5 hours, and so I can actually see the queue.
Yep.
All right, so here's my question. You get in at first thing in the morning, say there's a 10-minute wait. So you're blowing by through all the switchbacks, whatever. Do you let people skip you so you can watch the interactive queue, or do you just keep walking and not really get to enjoy it either?
Oh, man. I'd want to see it. I mean, it might be one of those things where I would just experience it, look at it, and walk out if the line got too bad.
At that point, I would just let people go. If it's that short of a wait, if you let like 10 people go so that you can enjoy it, it'll still be, a short wait to ride it anyway.
Yeah, but Keith, you have my luck, and those 10 people would have each been in a tour group, and they're bringing like another 50 with them.
Yeah,
then
true.
I just walk out and leave then. At least I got to see the queue.
Scott.
All right, so this is one that was already brought up. My number 3 is going to be the TTA People Mover. It's one of my favorites. I always have to go on that one. Specifically at night, either during the fireworks or like right around sunset, I think is one of the best times to be on that one.
Agreed.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think the sunset, maybe even once it's dark, once everything, all the neon gets turned on and then lights up, it takes on a whole other feel for us. All right, number 3 for me, I'm going to go to Haunted Mansion. It's been one that I've loved for a long, long, long time. I hate that I don't get to ride it quite as much because my boys haven't quite got up enough nerve to get on that one. But it's a fun attraction. Kind of has a whole new feeling and meaning with the portrait up front, since Alan's gone and everything, but that's easily top 3 no matter how I would rank it for me.
I'm gonna go on the attraction with Matt as well. That's my number 3. For the same reasons Matt said. I don't get to ride it as much either. My kids don't really like the attraction. I think they're getting a little bit scared about it, and they just don't say anything. But there's so much to see and do. The rewritability on an attraction is incredible because there's just so much to see, especially when you go to the attic scene. Everybody's so concentrated on the left-hand side of viewing, but you got to look on the right-hand side and see. There's so many more things to see on the right. So,
right.
Because of that, there's just so much to see in that attraction. It's easily, I'm pretty sure most Disney fans would make this top 5 or at least top 3, possibly even, attraction-wise. So easily number 3 for me.
Yes, I'll talk about that later. My third pick is Splash Mountain. It's a ride that has everything. It's a dark ride. It's got animatronics and music. It's got a thrill ride. It's a nice, a long ride. So you do get like a nice break when you ride it. It was Alan's favorite ride, and every time I see it, I think of him. And it's such a special attraction that it's a no-brainer as a top 3 for me.
I'll talk about that one later.
Yeah, me too.
And I've already talked about it.
Yes, you have. So that brings us back to Scott. Who does number 2 work for, Scott?
Number 2 works for one that you guys have already talked about, is Pirates of the Caribbean for me. I've not seen it since it's been redone, but it's still one that I try to do almost every time I go there, as long as I get a fast pass, because it seems like standby is getting longer and longer for that one. But it's one of the first, I'd say, thrill rides in a way that I can do with both of my boys, and they both have really enjoyed that one. So I enjoy doing that a lot.
Well, scoot on over, Scott, because I'm going to do that number 2 with you.
Ooh.
Oh, hey. Whoa, careful how you phrase that one.
That's going to be a big load.
Whoa, hey.
Might even...
He's still going.
Oh.
No, hey. All right, now, seriously. That's enough.
It's never enough.
Sorry.
Jokes are always funny. Doesn't matter.
We're talking about Disney. They are poo jokes, sir.
Oh, sorry, poo jokes.
Matt,
Right,
what's your number 2?
Number 2, it was an attraction that I loved, kind of took on a whole new meaning once my oldest found a love for it. Thunder Mountain. It's one of those where you can kind of get 2 attractions in one if you ride it in day and then ride it at night. But just, riding it with him and seeing the joy on his face and everything that he has, it's kind of one of his, I would probably say one of his favorite coasters that he's been on. So Thunder Mountain for me.
Great attraction. Did not make my list. It would probably, it's one of those things where it's hard. There's so many great attractions at the Magic Kingdom. You can't fit them all in your top 5. But that's an attraction that's completely different from day to night. And it has rewritability because once again, there's more things to see each time you ride it, not like Pirates or Haunted Mansion or Splash Mountain, but there is rewritability to it because the scenery does change, your views change. There's so much to see within the park itself that riding that attraction over and over is a lot of fun.
You should try riding it a monsoon. Completely different aspect.
No, thank you.
It still ran in the monsoon?
Well, we got on the train and it went into the cave with the bats and everything. And as you're come up the lift hill, I mean, it was raining so hard it literally looked like there was a wall outside.
Wow.
And by that point, they had no. I mean, you're gone.
Can't stop it then.
Yeah. It was fun trying to hold a poncho, cover him up, not smash him when you're going around turns. So, yeah, it was interesting.
All right, so that leaves me with number 2. So my number 2 attraction is Splash Mountain. For so many reasons, Splash Mountain is a lot of fun. My son absolutely loves it. It's probably out of our family, 3 out of the 4 of us probably enjoy it the most going as a family. Kelsey doesn't like to do it. Hopefully the next trip she will do that. But it's fun. I know I have such love for that. That easily could be number 1, depending on the day. I know Alan, with that being his favorite attraction, certainly changes things in that as well. But overall, the music in there is so much fun. It's you come out of there happy, even if you're a little bit wet. You don't get as wet as you did in years past, but overall, it's still a great attraction. It's still fun in the summertime, not so much in the wintertime if it's really cold. But it's a must-do attraction no matter what time of year it is.
It's usually down
right
in the wintertime anyway. Usually.
More to be said later.
All right.
Number
1, Scotty.
All right, so it's number 1 in this park and one of my top 5 attractions in all of Disney.
Flight of Passage.
Nope. Haunted Mansion. We've pretty much all talked about why for each of us, but Sean, just like you, when I go to the attic scene, it's one of those things where I would like to get stopped in that room. Seems like I always get stopped right before, right after it, but I would love just to kind of look through and see so much more there. But I try to look to the right as well and see all of that. But that attraction's always had a special place in my heart and one of my all-time favorites, and it's stayed there even with Pandora and everything else opening.
At the Haunted Mansion is number one on mine as well. I've talked about it at length on the show, but the one thing, it seems like that when my wife and I ride attractions, it's always me getting into the car first and then her. I don't know why. It's how we've always done it. This one time, just by chance, at the Haunted Mansion, she got in first and then me, and it's a totally different attraction. It forces you to look at things that you wouldn't if you were on your right-hand side. Just keep that in mind for other things too. It's if you have that same routine, it's nice to change it up, and it does actually change the experience for you sometimes on some rides.
Sure it is.
Okay.
Okay, terrific.
I just wish they would take the portraits they have hanging in the loading and move them somewhere else, because they don't really work as well with the eyes following you as they did, like they used to when they were further in the attraction. At least to me, they don't seem like they work as well. Okay, moving on.
I think it's a great attraction.
Well, it was on my list, but so I hate you, Haunted Mansion. Number one for me, everybody else has kind of mentioned it, and I'll go off all that. It's attraction that I will say, if you have to stand in line for 45 minutes to an hour, they kind of reward you for it, because it's well worth standing in line, because it's actually a long attraction and not 2 minutes worth.
Right.
Splash Mountain, it's hands down. I get upset whenever I go to Disney and it's down for refurbishment or whatever.
Like November.
Yes, November I was definitely looking forward to that and did not enjoy the fact that we could not ride it.
I know, it was really a disappointment.
Matter of fact, my oldest son, he rode it for the first time, a year ago in January. Scott rode with us actually, and he was upset that it was down and he couldn't ride it. So it's one that I do multiple times. Every trip we go down, like you've all said, it's got every element you could possibly think of. To me, it's the ultimate Disney ride.
All right, so that leaves me with my number one. My number one is I'm going to put asterisks here.
Here we go.
And
it's
the Magic Kingdom.
Yes,
it's Pirates, and it's the Pirates attraction that I last rode. So that's without the changes to the auction scene. So I understand why so many people are upset with it. I understand that. I certainly can respect your opinion on that. But I love the attraction of how it was. I have not watched the video on it, so with that being said, it's the way I remember it from the last time I saw it is my number one attraction. I will reevaluate it next time I ride the attraction. It may no longer be my number one because I don't know how I like the scene. I've heard some of the words that they changed, and I don't like some of the changes that they made with the words. I think they should just rewrote all the complete dialogue except for changing a word or two here with the dialogue. So I think they kind of took the cheap way out in that respect. But I've loved Pirates for such a long time. It's the fantasy of the pirate life, not for what they done. It was just the freedom of the water, the life on a boat, drinking rum all day. I mean, who wouldn't want that lifestyle, drinking rum all day, right?
Amen, brother.
So it's just a fun attraction. So many one-liners come out of the attraction. That's a lot of fun. So my number one, here, kitty, kitty, kitty. I love that one.
Yeah, kitty, kitty,
I love
kitty.
I took and watched the scene on YouTube. As much as I didn't agree with them changing it, it doesn't change the ride for me. I still think that it's a excellent attraction. One scene out of 10 scenes in that ride, so I think that you'll still be enchanted with it
I hope so.
as much as you were. And we wants the rum. It's fine.
Who doesn't want the rum?
Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the closing. Sorry.
Pull it out, Matt.
Matt, it's not prepared. Be prepared.
That was actually pretty good.
Thanks.
That's going to do it for this week. First, I want to thank our sponsors, Kingdom Strollers. Get your premium stroller and crib rental at kingdomstrollers.com. Let the vacation experts at mousepros.com help plan your next perfect Disney vacation. Don't forget to check out our store at redbubble.com/Tiki Talk Podcast. And you can connect with us on social media. Find us on Facebook at Enchanted Tiki Talk, Instagram and Twitter at Tiki Talk Podcast. You can also leave us a message on the Tiki hotline, which is 256-4MY-TIKI, 256-469-8454. And if you enjoy the show, please take the time to rate us on iTunes.
And you can find me, Sean is Delicious, on Twitter at 1 Minute Disney Dream. That's 1MIN Disney Dream, MouseWorldVacations.com, and MousePros.com.
I can't follow this anymore. like I need to go like third or something because it's just wrong. Anyhow,
sick of sloppy seconds.
No, it's like I'm sick of tasting vomit. It's what it is. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dole Whip Daily.
And you can find me on Twitter at Scotty Campbell or on Instagram at Scotty Boy.
I'm on Instagram and Twitter at mholly579. Appreciate you listening this week. Alan, we know you're on Splash Mountain right now. Take it away, buddy.
Thanks for listening this week. For Sean and Keith and Matt, I'm Alan. And this has been Enchanted Tiki Talk. Aloha.
Keith, you see Disneyland took the Dole Whip and made a donut out of it?
Yeah, I saw that, but
have you seen the line for it?
It's still not as good as the upside down cake, though.
Honestly, I have no interest in having that donut. I've got no interest. None whatsoever.
It'll be stale. It's not like fresh made.
Right.
So, I mean,
exactly.
You know it's going to be stale. At least the cake, they can heat it up a little bit so it's it's warm. But the donut's going to be stale as hell.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I just saw it on the online. I kind of want to go to Chick-fil-A because they have a.
That's not good.
Is it not?
The orange
the
dream
citrus swirl
summer thing.
Yeah.
I totally thought it was going to be more like their ice cream base, so like more like an actual like creamsicle.
Right.
But it was more like icy type. It's almost like instead of like a lemon ice, it's like an orange ice type. I wasn't a fan of it at all. I was super excited for it, and I was extremely let down.
Wah, wah.
There's a place right next to me that just opened up last week that they're sort of like a Stewart's root beer, that type of place. They sell Dole Whips.
Ooh.
I will be hitting that up. I'm sure it's going to taste the same, so that'll be like awesome. Go there every day.
Scenery's not as good, but the taste will be there.
Exactly.
Most Menchies and Orange Leafs have Dole Whips at them too.
They have it down here, but it's like occasionally they'll have it and they won't have it.
It's hit and miss here too. It's like it's not a constant.
Enchanted Tiki Talk has been brought to you by mousepros.com. Let us plan your perfect Disney vacation. And mickeymonthly.com, where you can get the park sent directly to you. And by kingdomstrollers.com for all your premium stroller and crib rental needs. Also by Trader Sam's Coffee. Why not brew some magic in your home? And finally, woodies.com. Sunglasses for a glare-free view of the magic. For all of us here, I'm David Benter. Thanks for listening to Enchanted Tiki Talk.